Today I'm going to go over how to set up alerts. Previously had done a video on this, but we made a couple changes, so I wanted to revisit that so that I could go over what the changes are. So if you recall that in order to set up an alert, you actually have to have something selected. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to choose real quick and easy North Carolina. You can choose a state or any number of states to set the alert for. You can choose by region and things like that. And then I'm going to go to the alerts tab, and you can see it populates the state selected as North Carolina. Now this is what we changed is you can set any name that you want for the alert. So I have alerts that have unique region names for Gulf Coast and South Coast and things like that. But where this shows up is this is what's going to show up in your alert message. So if I actually just simply want to spell out North Carolina, I can do that, and it makes for a nice clean alert message instead of a list of states separated by commas or straight lines. You can actually put something more meaningful to you in there. So then there's two things that you set for the alert threshold, which is by default it sets it at 50,000. That's an okay threshold for a single state, but if you're setting multiple states, you're probably going to want to set it a lot higher than that. And then there's the reset threshold. So when the outages go above 50,000, the alert will be triggered. When the outages go below 5,000, the alert will be cleared. Now, just below that, you can actually choose to get a message when it's cleared. You don't have to get a message, but if you want to know that things are kind of back to normal, it is kind of nice to get a message. The other option for clearing has to do with clearing automatically after 24 hours. That's useful in a situation where you might want to know on a daily basis that North Carolina is still in alert status. So it's kind of a unique little thing that you probably aren't going to use a whole lot, but it's there just in case you want those daily reminders. And then there's the delivery options, email, text, both. For texts, you have to have your cell phone number registered in our system. That's on the main page after you log in under the My Account setting, same place you would change your password. You can enter your cell phone number. That's stored in the database, and it's similar to passwords. We can see that there's something there, but we can't read what it is, so you don't have to worry about us calling you or anything like that. So here's the alert, and I'm going to go ahead and create it. Now, you notice it reverts back to the defaults after you've created the alert. And let's go down and see where the alert is. It's down here at the bottom. So there's our alert that we just set. Now, there's an interesting thing you can do. You can create what I'll call escalating alerts. So let's say I want to create another alert for North Carolina. And the previous one was 50,000, and I want to set this one to 100,000. So I'm going to go ahead and create that. It's going to drop it back down on the bottom. I have a lot of alerts set, by the way. So that's pretty cool, right? And what if I want to set another one and set this one at, let's just say 250,000, right? So I'll create that, go down to the bottom. There's my 3 alerts. So what that's going to do for me is it's going to let me know when the situation starts to escalate in North Carolina. And if I continue to get alerts, I know it's continuing to get worse. If I only had one set up and it was at 50,000, which is fairly low, you might not understand that the situation is getting a whole lot worse. But if you create these escalating alerts, you would definitely know. So one thing I didn't do, though, is I didn't all 3 of those have a clear message being sent. So if the alert level goes above 250, when it goes down to 5,000, I'm going to get 3 messages saying each one of those alerts cleared. So let me use that as an opportunity to show you the edit button. So if I click on the edit button, it brings that alert back up to the top. And in this case, I just want to say, don't send me a message for this one. I'm going to save it. And let me scroll back down. Likes to pop to the top all the time. Let me edit this one and do the same thing. So this way, now my escalating alerts, I'm only going to get one clear message, and it's on the lowest one, which is useful because obviously the other two can't get triggered unless the low one is triggered. So what are these other buttons down here? If you hover over any of these buttons, you'll see what they are. This is the delete button, so that gets rid of the alert altogether. That's permanent. Once you do it, you would have to recreate it from scratch. This is the enable or disable button, and we have one up here that's disabled. That's useful if you just don't want to use the alert now, but you don't necessarily want to get rid of it. So you just click on that and it changes, toggles between red and green. And then the other thing that we've got down there is the map button. So let's say I want to go up to one of my alerts up here and say Michigan. Well, let's go down to the one that's actually in alert status. And I didn't point that out, but when something is in alert status, first thing you'll notice the tab itself is red. So that way you know there's something in the alert panel that is in alert status. And then anything that's in alert status will show up with this kind of pinkish background. So if I click on this, which is go to the map display for this alert, it will actually close the panel and go to Kansas. So this is the one that was in alert status. So it's really nice, when you come into the tool, first of all, you can see that, hey, I've got an alert that's active. And then when you go into the alert panel, you can see which one it is, maybe more than one. And then you can use that map button to navigate. You can actually, interestingly enough, use that map button to navigate even if it's not in alert status. So, we have predefined regions for, FEMA regions and RMAGs and things like that. If you have your own regions, one really neat way to be able to navigate to it quickly is to create an alert for it. You can actually disable the alert if you don't want to get an alert, and you can just simply use it for navigation. So that's kind of a unique way to do something with that. It wasn't really what we intended it for, but it certainly works. So that's basically some of the new stuff on alerts. One thing I'll mention to you, and this is something I've done on my own phone when I'm receiving text alerts, is the text alert will come from a phone number, and after you use it for the first time, what I would recommend that you do is create a contact for that phone number. And what I did was I created a contact with the first name Power Outage Alert. That way, when I get an alert, it pops up and it's from Power Outage Alert rather than some random phone number. And I know what it is that I'm expecting to see in that. So if you're going to take advantage of the text alerts, that's a useful way to do it. Just add the contact to your phone book. Don't reply back to any of those alerts. It'll just give you a message that says that we don't receive anything on that. It's just our texting service. So it'll tell you to visit the website to see what's going on with the alert. So that's basically how the alerting system works with the new changes that we have in there. And we encourage you to use these. They're really powerful. And don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions or suggestions on how to make this better.